Round 10 of the NRL is upon us. Some teams already losing their chance to make the 8 or getting close to, and some teams a little bit higher than what we thought, and that is exactly the same in Holden NRL Fantasy. And I've got the guru next to me, Chris Kennedy. I'm going to ask him, but he didn't do all that well, I'm going to ask him how he went in round 9.
Yeah, not flash, but just an avalanche of injuries and suspensions and all kinds of things.
I don't want to hear excuses.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the excuses.
Yeah, apparently.
Myself, yeah.
What do you get, about 800?
Yeah.
Still a really solid score.
Could have been good.
Yeah. For the guru, anything less than 1,000 is no good. Now, we're going to go through a few of the best buys a little bit later on, but first of all, I've got to mention again, Holden NRL Fantasy. All you have to do is head to fantasy.nrl.com and you could share in 50 grand in cash and prizes, all thanks to Holden. Now, I know it's round 10 already, but you're not too late to have a share of that money. There's a $500 weekly prize up for grabs as well that you could snare, and why wouldn't you play? Now, we're going to go through a few of the best buys, or not best buys, but a few of the high scorers in round 9. And a new one, not Sam Burgess, George stepped up instead.
There's a few Origin-relevant players who are, sort of buy-relevant players who won't play Origin who are hitting form. George Burgess mentioned a couple of weeks ago was sort of a decent price. He's had 2 just massive weeks in a row. He's doing sort of what we saw him doing in 2013. Still a good enough price to jump on board. He played all the major buy rounds, and 82 massive from Big Georgie.
Now, another man who won't be figuring in Origin, and they're the people we've got to concentrate on at the moment, Shaun Johnson.
Yeah, with the Warriors buys, he's better for head-to-head players than overall, but he's been amazingly consistent giving the Warriors form, and a huge 54 points against Canberra on the weekend, and he was in everything. Another good score for him. Now,
Josh Mansour from Penrith, he is eligible for Origin. He probably will play one day, but not soon, and he's another one we need to keep our eye on.
Yeah, probably too many wingers in front of him when it comes to the Blues setup, but yeah, he's just one of those real busy wingers that you love as a fantasy coach. Takes all the hit-ups, scores, tries, do everything, another sort of 80 odd for him. Very expensive now, especially for a winger, but he's going to be good over the Origin period.
Now, they call you the Oracle, and there's reasons why, and here is one. Well, I call you the Oracle. You told me to call you that before the show. So that's what we're going with. Tim Laffey, we talked about him a couple of weeks ago, and he stepped up.
I mentioned him, I think it was last week, I had him on the buyers list. He just keeps churning through stats. Again, great buy coverage, won't play Origin, plays all the buy rounds. He won't score a hat-trick every week, but he's scoring really well at the moment.
Now, we noticed Jared Hayne made a few errors in the Eels win there, but he also had a big game, and he scored well as well.
Well, he played amazing. He scored one of the most, if it wasn't for English, that probably would have been the individual try of the season. Scored 73 points. The one thing I did want to mention with Jared Hayne, a few people pointed out in his stats, he didn't have a sin bin in there, and he obviously got sin bin in the last minute, which cost us all. Everyone has got him 5 points right at the end of the weekend, which isn't what we needed. The sin bin actually was included in his score, it just wasn't showing up, so everyone rest assured it is the correct score for Jared.
He's pretty much a certainty for Origin, so do you keep him now, or do you get rid of him?
He's guaranteed to play, probably at fullback, and if not, he'll be in the 3/4 line. I think he's a hold even for head-to-head coaches because of Paris bias. He only misses 3 games tops, barring injury. If head-to-head, he doesn't miss any games, so he's a definite hold.
Now, other players that did well as well, we don't have time to mention Kurt Mann, Dylan Walker did really well, Tony Williams, we don't know whether he'll play Origin or not, all players that scored well, but we'll move on to the strugglers, my favourite part of any NRL fantasy discussion, and there's a few here who you'd expect. I mean, Andrew Fafita was injured, so he's on there, but Nathan Peace we've talked about before, Matt Allwood as well, Starling, these are guys who we've talked about scoring well.
Matt Allwood had a good game a couple of weeks ago, finally made a bit more cash when we hold him. Had a 5 on the weekend, now he's been dropped. Time to get rid of him, there's too many options. Yeah, not good enough, Matty, cut. Andrew Fafita, injured, varying reports, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is, he's coming to Origin, he's going to miss 4 games anyway, even if he's fit. 23, his break-even's up, he's got to go. Nathan Peace, the bubbles burst, he missed a bag of tackles on his way to about 12 points.
He's been good too.
Yeah, carrying a little bit of a niggle, I think. Won't play Origin, still probably a hole, but he's certainly peaked if you want to sell him. But yeah, there are a few low scores.
Any score in single figures, you are cut. You are out of the Guru's team straight away. Now we're going to talk about other injuries and suspensions, and there are a few. We're going to start with Curtis Rona of the Cowboys.
Curtis Rona has a bit of an ankle injury, scans this week. Antonio Winterstein's back as well. We're not sure if Rona's going to get his spot back in place of Matthew Wright when he's fit. He's probably a hold for now until we know a bit more. Apostle Coruscant is the one that's on everyone's lips. He's facing a dangerous throw charge. He's taken that to judiciary. We don't know the outcome yet, but we will by the weekend. He's either looking at 0 weeks or 3 weeks. If it's 3 weeks, that takes him through to South Spy and probably Isaac Luke's return, making him a sell. Greg Bird also challenging, but again, with Origin and the charge, he's probably going to be a sell as well.
Greg Bird, it's terrible to hear that what's going to happen here. We don't know for New South Wales fans as well. Ben Hampton's another one who is going to miss out for a little while.
Yeah, early plea for Ben Hampton, 2 weeks. If you've still got him, it's probably time to jump off.
All right, let's have a look at the best buys. Quickly run through these. George Burgess is on there. Alex Johnson's on there. A couple of others as well. We need to get some value. We're in the middle part of the season.
Well, yeah, the young guy named Kurt Mann debuted in the centres for the Storm on the weekend. He was a late addition, so he wasn't in the team list, so we couldn't talk about him.
Good name.
Scored a match-winning try right at the end. His spot looks safe at least until Justin O'Neill gets back in probably going to be at least a month's time, so he might be a nice little sort of cash cow in the short term. Alex Johnston, similar thing, good buy coverage, talented winger, might make a little bit of coin in the short term.
No one knows anything as well as you know NRL fantasy, I've got to say that.
It's been a frightening amount of time.
Yeah, it frightens me a little bit. Thanks very much for your time again. We'll see you next week. The first lockout, once again, 7:40 on Friday. That is Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, you can win $500 every single week playing Holden NRL Fantasy. All you got to do is head to fantasy.nrl.com or download the apps as well from Google or Android. And best of luck.
Like, comment, and subscribe. That is the NRL Fantasy Talk. Round 10. See ya.